saw a couple of the rumors that you had told me about. They're all over Twitter too, so I'll ask about that in the shot. Yeah. Okay. Oh my gosh! Stop. Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Can you just say something real quick? Or just tap my thing?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here we go. 1, 2. Hey guys, I'm going to stay on the line, give you a heads up.
Still got 2 bars.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. Everybody ready?
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us here today at the Troy Police and Fire Training Center. My name is Lieutenant Ben Hancock with the Troy Police Department. I'm going to give you the latest and most up-to-date information that we have in regard to the shooting that occurred at Corewell, Troy this morning. At 7:08 this morning, our dispatch center received a call from the Corewell, Troy security of a shooting that had just occurred in the parking garage. Security was able to give us information that it appears a handgun was fired 5 times at the victim. The victim was hit 2 times in the arm, and his vehicle was also struck. This appears to be a targeted incident between 2 employees of the hospital. The hospital was placed into a lockdown, as well as local schools and daycares were notified to put into a soft lockdown. Currently, multiple agencies, many agencies, are searching and clearing the hospital and the surrounding areas, although it is not believed that the suspect is still inside the hospital. The search is included with canines, drones, and helicopters throughout the area. The victim is a 25-year-old male from Troy who is alive and in stable condition. The suspect is not yet in custody, but not believed to be at the hospital. We will not be releasing any victim or suspect information at this time due to the ongoing investigation. And hopefully later this morning we'll be able to provide a further update with some additional information. I'll take a couple of questions if anyone has one. Yes?
Do you have a better idea who you're looking for?
Can you just talk about the response of this and what how you have to clear a hospital? A lot of rooms, it's a big building, a lot of people inside.
Correct. Yeah. This is obviously something that takes all these agencies to respond, and we're very thankful that all these agencies dropped everything they had going on and responded immediately to assist us in searching the hospital. We have multiple coordinated search teams calling out and clearing floor by floor at a time, every room at a time. It's a very large operation. Obviously, this is a massive hospital that we have here in our city. Again, it takes everyone that did respond. We have agencies from all over the surrounding area, to include some federal agencies that also responded.
Although you're not sharing the suspect description, do you have a clear idea of who you're looking for? And as far as lockdowns in schools, daycare centers, et cetera, where does all that stand to?
Yes, so the hospital is still in lockdown, but we're coming to a close here on being able to be confident that the hospital is clear. As well as at that point, I think we will be releasing soft lockdowns on the local schools and daycare, but we will notify them when that does take place. We want to make sure that that is the best information we have before we release those lockdowns at both the hospital and the local schools and daycare. As far as the suspect, the victim was able to identify the suspect, so that's how we're able to narrow that down.
Did you
So
say both
was
the
this like
victim? Go ahead.
Was this like an ambush? Did he like surprise him in the parking lot? Did they fight in the parking lot and then shots rang out? What led up to it?
Not exactly sure what led up to that. That's still being investigated and looked into, and I hope to be able to provide that information to you a little bit later.
I know you said you weren't providing a lot of suspect and victim information. Who was the 25-year-old man that you
The 25-year-old male from Troy is the victim in this incident.
And he is going to be okay.
He is in stable condition.
The shooter is a male
Correct.
as well, did you say?
Pardon me?
The suspect is a male as well, did you say?
The suspect is also a male. I'm not going to release any further information than that, but the suspect is not in custody, like I mentioned.
A lot going around on social media about the fact that both of these individuals were in scrubs. Can you confirm that?
I don't have that information.
Do you know in what capacity they were employees? Were they doctors, nurses, custodial staff, security?
I also don't have that information. I'm not sure what exactly their employment capacity was at the hospital.
What about for how long have they been employed at the hospital?
That I don't know either. I'm sorry.
Was the handgun left at the scene, or did they take it with?
That I'm not also sure on either at this point.
How can you assure those that are in the hospital? I mean, there's thousands of employees. This is a frightening thing. I know you had said that.
Yeah, so we can assure those in the hospital because we have, like I said, multiple agencies inside that hospital. Still continuing to search the hospital, and at this point in our investigation, we're pretty confident the suspect is no longer inside that hospital.
What makes you so confident, if you can answer that?
I'm not going to share that information at this point.
Can you share the emotional feeling at this particular moment? We're talking about a massive hospital, hundreds of patients, hundreds of employees. What's the emotional state there now, as best to your knowledge?
Sure. This is very emotional, I'm sure, for all those employees that were at the hospital and immediately involved in this, who received the lockdown notice immediately. Like I said, I just want to send a message to them that we're there, we're on scene, we're doing our best to keep you safe, and I'm confident that they are safe inside that hospital.
I know you said that you're confident they're not in the hospital anymore. Do you believe the suspect is still in Troy, and what should residents do?
Residents in the immediate area should just kind of avoid the area and obviously keep their eyes peeled for anything suspicious they may see. Obviously call our dispatch center if you observe an individual that you're not familiar with or, could possibly fit I don't have a suspect description at this point, but something out of the ordinary in that immediate area, absolutely. And still encourage the public to avoid the hospital and the immediate area. I know all the major intersections within, a mile to 2 miles of that hospital are locked down right now.
If you don't have a suspect description, how do you know who you're looking for?
Well, we know who we're looking for. That's why. But I don't want to share that information with the public until I have further information on it. So.
Did the conflict, is it something that happened at work that led to this, or is it something from outside of work being brought in? Like, did they know each other prior?
Sure. It seems that they did know each other. I'm not sure how extensively, at work or outside of work, but that's something that we are looking into here. So, all right. I think that's all the information we have to share at this point. So, like I said, I don't have an exact time of when further information will be shared later in the day, but I would keep an eye on our Twitter, and I'll share that information on there when it's available.
Also, sir, we've done many stories about folks posting on social media when they see something, when they hear something. They tend to post it themselves. How important is it for folks to call you guys right now?
Yeah, that's a good idea. I would say call us before you intervene yourself. And for those who are posting information that they think they know something on social media, I would probably stay away from that because you're potentially providing bad information to the public, and we don't want to send people into any kind of panic. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Could you tell us, are there video cameras in that garage?
Potentially providing bad information to the public, and we don't want to send people into any kind of panic. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
There was hits.
What did DJ ask?
He wanted to know if they had cameras in the garage. He kept asking me in our ear.
I turned them down so I could hear.
Well, when I asked, he was already sort of done. And that was when they were asking.
What?
That's when CJ was asking when he was finishing it. He was like, ask him this, ask him this, ask him this.
Yeah.
We were taking hits. It kept going green, just service inside the building again. So I might have to feed it back or.
Police are not saying much about the suspect at this point. They will say that they have been searching the hospital. They've been clearing the floors methodically, letting some of the employees out. And they say that they do not believe that the suspect is inside of that building anymore. They do believe the suspect has left the building, and that is one of the reasons why they will be lifting the lockdown shortly. And they were very appreciative, investigators during that press conference, just so appreciative of the many investigators that were out here this morning, that responded, that they dropped everything just to get out here to try and deal with this situation and try and track down the suspect. A suspect, again, that police are still currently searching for. So we are going to stay out here. We're going to continue to keep an eye on the situation. Again, we do have some new details from investigators during that press conference in which they said the 25-year-old man from Troy, he is in stable condition after being shot twice in the arm, and that the suspect, they are currently searching for him. The two of them apparently knew each other. They both worked at the hospital, and that is why they are describing this as an isolated incident. They are still telling people to avoid this area if you can. Now, obviously, a lot of emergency crews down here. Police need some room to be able to do what they need to try and get the suspect into custody. Again, we'll stay out here. We'll continue to monitor the situation, give you new details as we do get them. Back to you guys in the studio. Sometimes police do this because they want to have a little bit of a head start on somebody, right, Ryan? So oftentimes they will not identify them so that perhaps they can track down family, friends, things like that that may be associated with this person. Maybe they may go to places where they may often frequent. So that is one of the reasons why sometimes police kind of hold back some of that information just so that they can have a leg up on exactly what is happening. And that likely is why police are not identifying exactly who this suspect is at this time, only saying that the victim in this case was able to identify exactly who shot him 2 times. Back to you, Ryan. Yeah, you know, this is definitely one of the larger police scenes that I have been out to recently. I mean, there are dozens and dozens of police cars. I will step out of the way so you can take a good look at them. I mean, there are dozens and dozens of officers that have been out here throughout the morning. They've been out here since just after 7 o'clock this morning. We're talking about officers from Troy, from all over Oakland County, from Shelby Township, from Macomb County, from Sterling Heights. I mean, during that press conference, they mentioned how it really was all hands on deck. The second that officers said they needed help, everybody from the surrounding areas really dropped everything they were doing to get out here and to try to get this situation under control. Obviously, a lot of people work at this hospital, a lot of people receiving care at this hospital, so it just heightens the elevation of everything that investigators are dealing with.
Okay, thank you.
You know, that's got to be so reassuring to parents out there, and it does kind of go along with what is happening here at the hospital. One of the big takeaways from that press conference was the fact that they do believe that they will likely be lifting the lockdown here at the hospital because they have been meticulously clearing all of the floors, sweeping all of the floors, and they do believe that the suspect is no longer on the premises, and that is why they're going to be lifting that lockdown. Back to you.
Yes, it does appear that hospital workers are coming out and standing on the side of the road on right here in this road. I can't recall what the name of it. DeQuinder, sorry. DeQuinder. So, yes, there's less law enforcement out here right now, but still flashing lights. We're trying to ascertain what's actually happening here, but Krachi is, my photographer is going as far as he can see.
I'm sorry, I didn't know what you were waving at.
Yeah. Well, there's a bunch of employees standing on the street. I was showing that, and you had no idea.
Yeah, I couldn't see.
Yeah, I know, but I was going to try to tell you that. And then you stepped right into shot.
Oh, I thought you were calling me back. I was so confused.
There's no longer in the hospital, which is a relief for people here on the ground who are starting but I'm really pissed to come out. Doesn't necessarily mean that we are the lockdown has been released, and we certainly haven't heard any word about that here. But right now, it certainly appears that people are starting to come out feeling sort of a sense of relief that at least from right here at Corewell Beaumont Hospital in Troy, that things are starting to simmer down and begin to start to return to normal. Guys, let's do that back. Somebody can either cut me 2 or 3 minutes of the best stuff that I shot that I can get access. Hang on a second. Oh, they're walking. Looks like they're walking across the street.
Sorry, Rick, you still there? So I'm trying to figure out a way, rather than me tracking down the whole 30-minute clip. Would my 30-minute Are there clips in Central then, those 30-minute clips? Will you be more than how many clips are open? No, as far as my raw stuff.
Just a heads up. So I had an interview with with an employee. I've got her phone number. The interview accidentally got erased. I've got her phone number. I'd like to try and go get her. Is there an opportunity for me to do that, or you want me after this? I've got that woman's number. I took it, and her mom lives around the corner here. So if they give us a few minutes, I can call her. I think they said they're coming to us after this.
Rob, the workers getting on the bus. Sway looking around. Just a step.
Down like you guys are according to scanners, they got
What?
you got a possible address and a possible suspect name.
Oh.
Yeah. Should I stand here? Oh, sorry.
Well, Ryan, I can tell you it does appear that there are fewer police vehicles out front of the hospital. A few of them have left out here, so it does seem smaller than was out here when I first got to the scene. The other big thing that we noticed just a couple of minutes ago was there was actually a school bus out here. It does appear that that school bus is taking some of the hospital employees off of the campus here. So we just saw that a couple minutes ago. Obviously, very hectic situation out here throughout the morning. Began right around 7 o'clock this morning, just after 7 o'clock this morning, where we now know that there was a shooting in the parking deck here at the Corewell Health Beaumont Hospital in Troy. We know that it was a result of an altercation between two employees, an isolated incident. We know that the victim in the situation, 25-year-old man from Troy, he does remain in the hospital in stable condition after being shot twice in the arm. And from what we understand, police, they are still trying to track down the suspect. Now, earlier they did tell us that they believe that they would be lifting the lockdown at the hospital shortly because they do not believe that the suspect is on property anymore, that he's on the premises. They do believe that that suspect has left. One of the reasons they believe that, they didn't go into a lot of detail, but one of the reasons they say that is because they have been carefully sweeping the hospital, clearing all of the floors, making sure that the suspect is nowhere to be found. So again, that is one of the reasons why they are expected to lift the lockdown here shortly. One of the reasons why some of the schools in the area, they are also expected to be lifting their lockdowns as well. Just a very a frightening day for a lot of people, something that nobody really expected. We talked to employees earlier this morning who said that they arrived to work. It was supposed to be a normal day, and immediately they could tell that something was off. They saw a number of emergency vehicles out here. They were being told to get away because of the active shooter situation. And we know shortly after that, Corewell Health, Beaumont, they did release an email letting the employees here know that yes, there was an active shooter situation, that they should run, hide, and fight. They should avoid the area if they are not here. So that is the latest here from the scene here in Troy. Obviously, we are trying to stay in close contact with investigators to see if there are any new developments concerning getting the suspect in custody. And the second that we hear anything, we'll be sure to pass it along to you. Back to you in the studio. Yes, yep, we've been able to kind of keep an eye on the investigators in this area, Marielle, and like I said, one of the big things we saw just a couple moments ago is there was a school bus out here, and it does appear that they were loading up some of the hospital employees onto that school bus to get them out of this area. So certainly still a very fluid situation out here, still a very active situation out here, and hopefully one that will be resolved shortly, because investigators, they are working very hard to get the shooting suspect into custody. Yeah, I do. I have noticed that there are fewer police vehicles lined up in this area. And we are seeing, you should be seeing right now with my photographer, Doug Tracy, we're seeing a number of investigators kind of walking away from the hospital right now, it appears. So, yeah, that is something that we are going to keep a very, very close eye on when the lockdown is officially lifted. But during that press conference a short time ago, they indicated that would be something that would likely be happening because they do not believe the suspect is here. I don't know anything about it, but yep, I can say I just got the alert like everybody else. If you want. Is that what you want?
Well, not us.
Okay, that's all I know.
We gotta. I'm parked on the road too, so we gotta get off this quick. Like now.
Yep, just a couple of moments ago, actually, Marielle. As you know, DeQuinder was blocked off here. There was a patrol car from Sterling Heights that was blocking off DeQuinder. It left just a couple minutes ago, and now we do have traffic moving down DeQuinder. So it does appear that this area is opening up again as a result of that suspect being in custody. I got the alert just like everybody else. It was the push alert that came across my cell phone that said that, yes, Troy police, they did get the suspect connected to the shooting here at Corewell Health of Beaumont, Troy, into custody. That happened right around 9:43. We are expecting to hopefully get some sort of an update from investigators to be able to give some insight as to how all this happened. And we obviously want to know where this happened, where they were able to find the suspect. Very interested in learning who this suspect is. Obviously, police may not release a name right away, but we may be able to learn a little bit about his age, perhaps some of the background, and perhaps they will give an indication as to what sparked the incident between the situation and that resulted in that shooting this morning, in which this 25-year-old victim was shot twice in the arm. But yes, we are outside Beaumont Hospital, Corewell Health Beaumont Hospital here in Troy on DeQuinder. You can see traffic moving along freely right next to me after being shut down since roughly about 7 o'clock this morning. And that is because the suspect connected to the shooting in the parking deck here is now in custody. He is off of the streets, and investigators are handling that situation. I'll send it back to you. Yeah, you're talking about, this is roughly, what, 3 hours, Ryan? It started right around 7:08 this morning at 9:43. That is when that push alert went out notifying everybody that the suspect was in custody. And one of the reasons why they were able to do this so quickly is because of that victim who was shot twice in the arm. That victim was able to tell investigators exactly who pulled the trigger, exactly who fired 5 shots at him inside of the parking garage here at Corewell Health Troy, and that made all the difference in tracking down the suspect and getting that suspect into custody. A lot of people relieved right now. Back to you.